Hey everyone, welcome back to Road Reel. Today we're going to be installing the RetraxPRO XR tonneau cover. Now, I'm going to be doing this the best way I know how, which is to do it for the first time ever. And don't worry, if I get anything wrong, put it in the comments. Let me know what I should have done differently. So this one is the XR with the integrated track system, like I said. The only difference is this one is the aluminum top compared to, I think the other one is polycarbonate. So all the installation and everything should be the same, and so we're going to go ahead and let's get started. All right, I went ahead and got everything unboxed and pulled out of the packaging. We've got our drain tubes, some literature, got our keys here. And so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna remove these brackets here. It says we gotta remove this screw, pull this out, and then remove this white tubing on both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, now that I got that taken apart and all those packing materials pulled out of it, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna save these brackets, and there's a couple of screws. I'm not sure if we need those, so I'm gonna save those too. The tubes, we can just toss those, but these are gonna be used later in installation. All right, for this next step, you might actually need another person. I'm gonna try to do it by myself. If I can't do it, well, I'm gonna have to borrow my wife over there. These two holes right here, we're gonna take and we're gonna pull out this. It says about 6 to 8 inches. We're gonna pull that out. And then this is the driver's side bed rail. You know that it's the driver's side, first of all, that this curvature is gonna be towards the back. This little T-notch is towards the back, and the passenger side has a green sticker on it. So you're gonna take this, and we're actually going to slide, you can see this little railing right here, these rollers are gonna go into this railing, and then we're gonna back it into place, and then put our screws, and that's gonna hold it in there. Also, for this next step, you want to make sure that this is unlocked and that your handle is in the upright position. All right, we got the driver's side on. Now we're gonna do the passenger side. Now there is a pretty big warning sticker on there about voiding the warranty if you use Loctite. So yeah, don't do that. Let's go ahead now and let's get this other side on. And for those of you that are doing this on your own, even though it technically takes 2 people, these little foam end pieces, let me show you here. They are excellent for holding that in place and keeping you from scuffing all that up. All right, now I'm not tightening those too tight. I'm just getting everything really snug. I did put an extension on here, and then I'm gonna go back and hand tighten those screws into place. The next thing to be installed is that front cover that you see laying up there. It looks like it's all scuffed up and things, but it's really just dirty from shipping. Now that front cover is gonna be installed with 2 of the Allen head screws. Now these are black, they send you a little Allen wrench with it. The screws go right through here, and they line up with the holes that you see up here. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in. Now, these are steel screws. They're cutting into aluminum. They're actually cutting their own threads in. So what I do is I'll give it a crank, and then if it tightens up too much to where I can't get it, I'll back it out a few threads, and then I come back in and do it again. Once you get through those first few turns, it actually gets quite easy. And then I just tighten it up still snug. That was not this popping, that was actually my wrist. There we go, all snugged up. This next part is actually gonna be the hardest part, I think. We're gonna get this into place. All right, bring our rails in where they need to go. Now you want this weather stripping to fit flat on this edge. You don't want it to go over in either direction, and you don't want it to fit tucked in. Otherwise the water will actually pool at the back of your bed. Sun's gone behind the clouds. I've lost a little bit of my lighting, but basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that old bracket that you had, you're gonna stick it right here like this. This is your 1/8 inch. And so we're gonna stick that at the back of this rail. When we shut our tailgate, we wanna make sure that we butt right up against that and that we're 1/8 of an inch. We're gonna do that on both sides. And you can see, if I can get it to focus, on this one here, it's this first notch. It's this notch here, not this part. All right, now it's time to put the clamps on. Now these clamps actually have some grooves on this side here. I don't know if you can see that, but these grooves, they line up with the grooves on these bed rails. And this is gonna go right in between these two little plastic adjustment screws. This is where we're gonna turn in or out, all depending on where we need to adjust the width of this bed. But for now, that's gonna go in between those. Now, you do have the ability to raise this lip of the clamp up or down, all depending on the underside of your bed rails on how you want to attach that. And then this jam nut bolt, I don't know what you want to call it, this is in case you have an 8-foot bed, right? So if you're installing this on an 8-foot bed, then you will be adjusting this as well. For me, I've got this screwed all the way out. I'll probably take it off later. This next part might be a little difficult, so you may need another set of hands. But what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna push down as hard as you can here. While doing that, you wanna tilt this inside edge. You wanna tilt it up just a little bit. It says about 2 degrees. I don't know what that is, so I'm just gonna tilt it up what I can. All right, it says 6.7 foot-pounds. You could bust out a torque wrench if you wanted, but I'm just gonna go with snug, so it's good for me. Now I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna do this to all the other ones. All right, now these ones back here, they're just a little bit different because there's a gap and a space and a notch that the bracket fits in. There's also a tab coming through the top that might be in the way, so it just takes a little finagling and you can get in there. And back there, I am 58, just a little over 58.5. And right here, I'm just a little under 58.5. So 58 and like 5/8, 58 and like 3/8. So I have to spread this out 1/4 inch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this gap here and I'm gonna come in 1/8 inch on this side, 1/8 inch on that side, and we should be good to go. The way that I'm gonna do that is while everything is still tight, I'm gonna look at my little plastic adjustment screws here, and I'm gonna screw those out 1/8 of an inch, and then I will tighten up this bracket to bring that space back in. All right, once I have that there, I'm gonna hold my bracket in place because it's wanting to fall off now, and I'm just gonna tighten that back up. Again, while you're tightening, remember to pull down. All right, and that side's done. Let's do the other side. All right, now that we've double checked our measurements, everything looks good. Let's see how she closes. Nice. All right, now that we know it all closes up nice and snug, let's go ahead. We're going to pull that protective cover off underneath. Take these little guys off here. There we go. All right, let's put our drain tubes on. So on these drain tubes, you can see that right back here, there's a little plug. So I'm going to pull that plug out here. I'm run these drain tubes into there. If you have a rhino liner like mine, it might be a little more difficult because you got to cut through it, but once we get that in there, we'll get that in place. All right, there we go. We got that one in. I'm just going to do the other one the same. All right, so there it is, all installed. Don't forget to register it and get that warranty. Now all I have to do is clean up this mess that I made. There's a lot of packing material, and I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with my old toolbox and tools and things like that. So stay tuned for those updates, figure out how I'm gonna organize my stuff. But now that next time I'm out on the trail, I don't have to worry about all my fishing gear or people breaking my windows out to get to it. I don't think anybody's getting through this without a fight. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if it was useful, make sure that you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you like what's going on here, make sure that you subscribe. All right, everyone. I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.